Hey, I'm Andre. Welcome back, guys. I'm so glad to have you. That was very weird, but we're going to roll with it. All right. Now, today I want to talk to you guys about a question that I got recently. And this question had to do with how do you stay in the present moment without being drawn back by your conditioning? Now, this is a really good question, first of all, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have it. And so, what we have to really remember is that the reason why we're being brought back by our old me, by our old you, by your old self, it has to do with judgments and the way our judgment apparatus has evolved, right? And so in this podcast, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how this judgment apparatus has evolved. All right. So stick around because you're going to learn stuff that's going to blow your mind in this video. And if you don't, 100% money back guarantee, my friends. All right. Okay, let's get into it. So the first thing that you have to know that you got to understand is the way the judgment apparatus works. And one of the key things that you should be coming aware of, I just said the bad word that I'm going to be telling you guys about not to be saying, and it's the word should, right? So anytime you hear yourself saying, I should be doing this, or even saying to someone else, you should be doing this, and it's coming from a place of judgment, you can feel that negativity kind of building up in your heart, that anger. No, well, it's not anger. It's on the dark side, right? You can feel it. And so anytime you feel yourself saying, I should be doing this, I know I should be doing this, I know you should be doing this, you never do this. When you're using that type of language and that type of energy, you're in the judgment energy. And that is a voice and pattern that you should really just try your best to go, okay, I hear you, bud, but I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to listen to that, right? Because there's a much quieter voice inside of all of us. And this is the voice that's just, yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's all right. Let's just do what we got to do. It's okay. It's not, no one's judging you for this thing, right? And so that voice is the voice of inner peace. And that voice is the voice of acceptance. And so those two kind of voices are inside of us and judging every kind of situation. Now, the way the judgment apparatus is really working is by breaking things down into a very basic binary yes or no switch. Okay. And so that switch breaks down into something either being known or unknown, right? And so if something is known, we tend to categorize it as safe and good and great and amazing and all the positive adjectives that you can think of, right? And if something is unknown, we tend to categorize it as dangerous and sick and bad and garbage and trash and all the negative adjectives you can think of. And so our brain right away breaks everything down into these dualities, into these competing sides, black or white, good or bad. And so the problem with staying in the present moment is because of this judgment apparatus that is always scanning the environment for threats, right? All the time, our brain is looking around going, okay, is this light going to fall on me? Is this microphone going to electrocute me? Are people going to watch this video and laugh at me? Or am I going to lose business from people watching this video and being like, well, this guy's talking about some weird stuff on here, right? So what we really have to do is first become aware of that judgment apparatus. And that really is the main key, because I think a lot of people are not aware that this judgment apparatus, this threat detection system is running 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. All right. And so this judgment apparatus is breaking everything down into known and unknown. And so what happens when you live in the present moment and you're truly allowing for everything to be new, right? You're not going back on your past conditioning. You're not being anything that you was, right? Just because you were shy in grade 2 doesn't mean you're shy now as a 40-year-old man, right? And so what happens when you're being completely new? What's another word for new? The unknown, right? And so when you're in the unknown, you're in new territory. And so the weird thing is, the paradox is, the only time you grow is when you're in new territory. And so the only time you grow is when you're in unknown territory. And the only time you grow is when you're in dangerous territory. And the problem is the way we're wired, right? And the way our judgment apparatus is set up is that anytime we're in unknown territory and the body feels that we're in unknown territory, there's a pullback. Oh, I've never seen this before. I've never done this before. Let me go back to what happened in grade 7 at the at the talent show when everyone laughed at me when I got on stage, right? And so those things, that leap that we always talk about entrepreneurs taking, or that leap that you always need to take in life, that ability to leap gets dulled and dulled and dulled. And before you know it, as you get older and older and older, you're not even taking a step anymore. You're barely moving, you're crawling, right? Because you want to be so safe. You want to take the easy way. You're tired. You just want peace. You say you just want peace. You don't know what real peace is, my friend. I'm going to teach you about real peace in this one. And I don't know why I'm talking like a cowboy, but that's just what came out at that time. All right. And so what everyone out there needs to figure out is the awareness of judgment, right? Simply becoming aware of your judgment apparatus is going to be the first point in addressing it, right? Because remember, it's really a mind game that we're playing with our mind. And so we all know that we need to get out of our head in order to get ahead, right? Bars. And so the way that we get out of our head is by making friends with our mind, right? Because we really need to trick our mind into doing what we want to do. And so this judgment apparatus that's always scanning the environment for threats, right? And anyone, I don't care how much of a Zen guru you are, you're still going to be making that oath with yourself to protect your life, right? I remember when I first got into this stuff and I separated my ego from my authentic self, I still made the pact with myself that if my life or my family's life or my friend's life or even anyone around me's life was in danger and I could prevent it, I would definitely step in and beat up someone. So really this is not about accepting your judgments in the sense that you're just going to be like, oh, this is the way I am. There's nothing I can do about it, right? Because when you're with that energy is based off the old you and keeping you stuck to the old you and keeping you in the known realm, right? So you see this a lot with people who are victims of domestic abuse. They'll stick with their abuser, even though it's dangerous physically, right? But it's the known situation. They know what to expect, right? Rather than taking the leap of getting a divorce or going to a woman's shelter or being homeless for a bit or living from home to home with their kids, right? That is unknown. They don't know what's going to happen, right? That is a scary situation. And so even though their home life is dangerous, physically dangerous, it's still better than the unknown. It's still safer in the mind than the unknown. And so the main thing, as I keep saying, I think I've said it 2 times already, my friends, is become aware of the binary nature of your judgment apparatus. Okay? I'm going to wrap this up right here. If you've liked this video, don't click off right now. Don't click off right now. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. But if you don't, that's cool too, right? We zenned out here.